What's up guys, Boss here, and I'm back from another YouTube video, and this time we're going to be playing some ladder using Electro Giant. So I've already made a few videos on this deck, and I think a lot of you guys in the comments are getting sick of the ebarbs. I sometimes see comments of like you guys asking like what are some of the best decks in the meta without the ebarbs in it. This also doesn't have the Mother Witch in it, as you guys can see. I think this is by far one of the strongest decks in this meta that doesn't have really any like OP or like broken card that I don't think is going to be, getting nerfed, unless you argue that the egiant itself is pretty strong, which I think it is in some matchups. This deck is fairly easy to play. Your defense is going to be, great with the Ice Wiz, Nado, and the Goblin Cage, and then your offense is good as well because you have the Dark Prince, which pairs really well with the Electro Giant, the good splash, and Nado kind of clumps everything together for everything. So overall, very well-rounded deck. Very good in this meta. It finished 9th in the world last season, so definitely really solid. Before we get in the first game, if you guys want to support me, use my credit code. As you guys know, any Supercell game supports me, the channel, and I really do appreciate all you guys who do use my code. It means a lot. So I did climb a little bit since the last video. We made it to 6,600, which is in the top 400, but we're going to try to push up even more, and we'll go ahead and search for the first game. Alright guys, so we did find our first game, and ooh, this guy's actually a little bit higher than us here, so a win would get us probably like 38 trophies or something like that, which would be great. Maybe even more, we'll see. 38, 40 maybe. So I usually don't make the first play with this deck, because kind of like Golem, unless you're using like a Golem deck where you want a Golem first play, you want to play this pretty passively, especially because you have a building. I feel like Goblin Cage first play is kind of safe, like if you've waited maybe like a minute or something, but usually I would rather react to what my opponent does. We are going to go ahead and Lightning this because we're getting some pretty good value out of it, and I don't want that Magic Archer to stay on the board for too long. What you can actually do is go like, oh, he just messed up. So he actually messed up the tornado. He tried to activate the King Tower. He doesn't do that, but we actually successfully activate the King Tower off of the Skeleton Barrel. If you guys didn't know that, make sure to practice that placement. I think it's pretty easy to do. It just takes like a little, probably like honestly, like just play a friendly battle with a friend. Like you could probably learn that in like, 5 minutes or something. I'm gonna go for Dark Prince. Unfortunately, we have to Nado this. This is actually not going to be an easy matchup because he has the Goblin Hut. I feel like anytime someone has a building, they generally have a pretty good matchup against Electro Giant. It's a very, I would say, like matchup dependent card overall. Like even though it's strong in the meta, like if your opponent has a building, it's difficult. I'm gonna, nice. Oh no, I thought we got the Baby Dragon down in time. That's why I said nice, but it looks like we got it down slightly too late, which is unfortunate, but good lightning value here. I'm surprised he gave me that, if I'm being honest. We end up taking back the lead. I'm gonna go ahead and save some elixir and just go for a bar barrel instead of going in for a cage, just because I want to get an E-Giant down here and get a push going. We're on double elixir, so this is where we want to be. Hopefully he goes in for a Goblin Hut. I don't know how I feel about that Magic Archer. If he plays a Goblin Hut and gives me that lightning value, we're obviously going to take it. I'm worried. I think he... Actually, we're going to play it lower because I think he might go for like a Valkyrie too into it. No, he doesn't. He goes in for... I should have lightninged the tower if I were doing that over. I was just trying to predict like he would go for a Valkyrie or something. Anyway, this is looking very good for us here. He's having a hard time defending this. I don't think that giving us that lightning value like that was definitely a mistake on his end. And as a result, we might be able to win this game pretty much off of like one E-Giant push and then some lightning value. That's all it takes often, just one push, and you can often like win the game with E-Giant. So we're once again going to take this lightning value. Actually, you know what we're going to do first? We're going to tornado everything together. And then I'm actually going to not even lightning at all. I kind of changed my mind. That Nado got us good enough value. Let's just, play this patiently. We don't need to be over aggressive and, go for a lightning and then, lose the game if it's too aggressive. I'd rather just play this safe. Although right here, yeah, I think we're going to go aggressive now. That nado was extremely aggressive on his end. He lets the baby dragon lock on. Lightning can hit both. There we go. That's going to be a good game. Great opportunity there to steal the win. So we're going to be able to get, I think, 40 trophies. Nice. I was thinking it would be like 38, 40, something like that. So that will put us at our season highest. Let's keep going, though. And I guess I'll see you guys when I find the next game. Because the last match took like 30 seconds to find, actually. So it's been taking a while, I guess, to find matches. Alright, here we go. So we found our next game. We'll give this guy the good luck. And kind of like the first game, we're just going to wait. Oh, he's going to giant first play. Okay, interesting. That might mean he has giant double prince. Some people use giant double prince, giant first play a lot. Or he might have Sparky, like giant Sparky. That's my prediction. But he could be using something completely different. We'll just have to see. He's going to have a musketeer. So, ooh. Giant graveyard, okay. So just giant graveyard first play of the game, alright. Shouldn't be that bad of a matchup because even though he's getting a bunch of damage here, which is like obviously expected because we don't have a ton of answers to the graveyard, he doesn't have good ways of defending our E-Giant pushes. The only thing he's going to have is a mini P.E.K.K.A, and if he doesn't have that in cycle, or I have a bunch of support cards behind my E-Giant, it's just simply not going to be enough. He's down so much elixir, so we're going to E-Giant in the back. The reason why I know he's down elixir is because I wasn't playing anything for a while, and he went in for a Skarmy and I don't know why he just went for a giant at the bridge, but we're just going to go for a cage on top of that. And then what we're going to do is if he goes for... I'm gonna Ice Wizard. I was thinking of like maybe going a lightning or something on the mini P.E.K.K.A, but I think that would have been a little bit too aggressive. And with him just using his giant, honestly wasting it because he just played it at the bridge and then he had to defend with Skarmy on the counter push. He has no ground card in cycle, so I'm curious. He has Musk, that's it. So he chooses to waste a Musk. Interesting. I don't think that was a great play. So I guess here we'll go Barbaro. We're definitely up elixir. And we'll go ahead and Electro Giant. He's gonna go Giant. So might be a tower trade situation, which I guess would be okay because I think we need to support our E-Giant. We for sure need to get through this mini P.E.K.K.A. And the question is, do we decide to go for a lightning or do we just support it with a bunch of support cards? I think we should just go for a bunch of support cards. That's the better option. So we're just going to make sure we don't get 3-crowned, essentially, and then we're going to try to continue our push and actually go for another E-Giant here. I will go for an Ice Wizard just to ensure that we don't get 3-crowned, and then... Are we going to Lightning them? No, we're not going to Lightning. I'm content with that damage we got. I think that was pretty good. Just got to be careful now that because he's going to go... Yep. Giant graveyard in the pocket, so we can tornado that away. So that way the King Tower helps out on defense. He just went really aggressive. If I can get an E-Giant to kind of like tank for everything, that would be good. And the E-Giant and all the splash cards completely obliterate that Skarmy. We're going to go for Dark Prince to support it. E-Giant is on the King Tower. I don't know if it's not going to be enough to put us in lightning range, but if that Dark Prince connects, it will be. That's good that he had to waste a giant, because now he's not going to have any tank for the graveyard, obviously. I will take this lightning. We're hitting the giant, the musketeer, and the King Tower. I think that's worth it. If the E-Wiz just gets one more hit, we should be in lightning range here. Yeah, that is going to be enough. So pretty much, let's just make sure he doesn't take our whole tower. We can also nado away. Joe will just go for prediction nado. It was obvious he was getting, no way he can lightning block, so we'll just take it. It's gonna be a good game, not that bad of a matchup. You just gotta be like watch out for the graveyards. But if you have things behind your E-Giant, there's no way they can save their tower because the only thing they have is mini P.E.K.K.A, so not that hard at all. So let's go get into the next game here. And we found it right away, so no need to even that like sounded in 1 second. So here we go, verse Sad Boy. So we'll chill, keep waiting. We don't even have Cage. If I don't have Cage, I'm definitely not playing anything. Just because I'm like recording a video and I don't want to bore you guys too much, I'll cycle a bar barrel if we get through, you know, like 30 seconds go by. But otherwise, like if I weren't recording a video, I'd just completely wait. But like, I don't want to bore you guys for like a whole minute until it's double. So we're just gonna bar barrel. Nagamini doesn't really tell me much. Isn't that giant double prince maybe? I don't know. Could be something else. I'm just kind of making a guess. Now I definitely have to wait. I do not feel comfortable cycling a dark prince in this situation. So hopefully me talking is entertaining enough. I don't know. Alright, well, we'll do this. Could be Golem. Golem is usually not too difficult, the matchup. Ooh, normally I'd Lightning and Elixir Collector, but I'm gonna not Lightning it, and here's why. I just played an 8 Elixir E-Giant, and I don't feel comfortable playing a Lightning on Elixir Collector, because then I wouldn't be able to support this E-Giant at all, and his counter push would be massive, so I'm going to make the decision to not play a Lightning on it. I hope that was the right decision. I mean, we are going to take his tower. I feel like he's going to have a very good chance of taking ours, but I just mean hopefully our decision of ignoring that was the right one. And maybe it was. I mean, he's going to be up a lot of... Yep. Yeah. So I expect him to take my tower, but as long as we're even after this, like if he takes my tower, I'm fine with that. We might even defend. I don't know how we will, but we may be able to, just because our defense is so strong. But I don't expect to, like, I'm expecting the worst, which I think is fine in this type of situation, considering we were so low on Elixir. We'll try to nado. I think that we're okay here. We're okay. I don't want to commit. I want him to just stop spamming because I don't like having to commit all this elixir. That doesn't 3-crown me, but I'm annoyed how much elixir I had to spend there on defense. I'm not gonna lie. We're gonna go Electro Giant. He doesn't have Lumberjack in cycle, which of course is his highest DPS card to this Electro Giant, so that's something great for us in this current situation. We are going to go, ooh, perfect. We don't hit the tower with that lightning. That was perfectly calculated because I had a feeling he was going to play something else because he had to. And as a result, that just went right into the lightning, giving me even more value. So with him doing that, I'm just going to try my best here to, if all possible, just take his tower here. I don't... No, he's just going to nado, probably. Yeah, he does nado it away. But if he spent a lot of elixir doing that, we may be able to defend. We'll see. We do pull the golem towards our arena tower, which is good because it has more hit points than the king tower. And we actually dealt a lot of damage to his king tower, so if we go E-Giant in the pocket and he nados it to his king tower, we're fine. And actually, he just used his nado, so we can pressure here. And I'm even going to go for a lightning, because if we hit the Night Witch and the tower, perfect. That's game. A good matchup for us. I usually do beat Golem, even though we didn't have that best starting hand, and he got a lot of elixir lead from that elixir collector. We still were able to come back, like get in the correct cycle, and just overall, like you can see, Electro Giant versus Golem. Usually Electro Giant wins majority of the time. I would say, you know, generally like probably like 70-80% of the time. And dang, we found this game right away too. We give this guy the good luck. He's gonna go for... Alright, I don't think we can defend both of those without spending an insane amount of elixir, so we're just gonna... yeah, I'm an idiot. That was kind of a bad baby dragon. I didn't think he had nado though, to tell you the truth. Like when I see wall breakers, I'm usually thinking of like, you know, minor wall breakers with like Tesla. He probably still has Tesla, but yeah, that was pretty dumb of me to do. But to be fair, he probably would have activated the King Tower anyway, because if I played any type of Goblin Cage, he still probably would have activated it. But the point I'm making is he was able to get it activated probably way sooner than he would have. So that's kind of what was unfortunate about it, but I guess it's alright. This is going to be, I would guess, this is definitely not going to be an easy matchup, because he has a Tesla, he has ice. I mean, if he plays good defense, we shouldn't be able to break through. That was a horrible Ice Wizard, though. If I'm correct, we should be able to get lightning value here. I'm actually going to play the lightning lower, not hitting the tower, because I was predicting him to play something else, maybe to like lightning block, like a Valk or something. That was not the case, but yeah, like you can see why this is a pretty bad matchup, because I can't deal with his pressure. Don't have the elixir. But yeah, this is a really, really hard counter, so I don't expect to win this, but like, I mean, we'll see what happens. Any deck with like Tesla or Mortar is very, very hard. That's kind of the... That's why Tesla is the best building right now, because it's really good against Electro Giant. That's one of the reasons. So unless he makes some mistakes, he should for sure be able to win this. We can actually go ahead and activate the King Tower, because he didn't play that miner entirely in the safe spot, even though he played it like almost in it. He was one tile off, and I was aware of that. I guess we'll just... Yeah, I mean, honestly, there's not really much we can do, but, you know, you never give up, obviously. You guys are just seeing how ridiculous it is, the Tesla against the egiant. Just insanely good defense, and pretty much, unless this guy completely throws this game, like making some like major mistakes on defense, it is pretty much over. But like, I've seen crazy things happen, so I'm gonna just like, you know, keep trying. Like, you never know like what's gonna happen, but it's definitely getting pretty boring at this point. There's no doubt about that. Just easy defense for him every time. Like our E-Giant, it's just painful seeing how difficult it is for it to get to the tower. It's painful. I don't even think it's made it to the tower once yet this game. Or maybe it has, but I don't even... Yeah, no. Disappointing. We'll see. I mean, like, triple, like, I mean, we have a little bit of hope, because we can actually get, like, 2 E-Giants down. But it's, like, even then, I don't know. So we should be able to stop this, though, with a nice nado. But look at that. Look at both of his towers. We haven't even made a dent in a single one of his towers. Like, I mean, we got, like, 200 damage. Something, like, in the left one, it's, like, 400, whatever, but... Nothing. Absolute hard counter. No shame losing this. So like, if you guys are losing to like decks with buildings, like that's completely expected. Like Tesla, mortar decks, like log bait's gonna be pretty difficult for you to like expo stuff along those lines. Absolute hard counters. So I would just like, you know, like brush those losses off, like not really worry about it, because if your opponent plays it well, there's really no way they should lose that matchup, in my opinion. So we'll go ahead and play probably one more game, maybe 2 if this one goes by quickly. Alright, here we go, versus Muhammad Ali. Very famous, I believe, boxer, right? I think I got that right. Alright, let's see here. So he goes bats. Maybe a minor deck, we'll see. Now he's got a witch. Very, very interesting. So we're going to go ahead and lightning here. He might drop something else into it. He does not stoke solid value out of the lightning, though. He's going to be up some elixir, so we got to watch out. We lost. I think... Hold on. I'm just a little nervous, that's all. Oh my... Yeah, okay, not the best tornado. I think the rage from the giant was what actually prevented us from pulling it to the king. Because when something's raged, I think it's a little harder in some situations if it's like locked on to something to pull it, and that might have been what screwed me over there, or I just straight up messed it up. I don't really know, but to be fair, it is pretty hard to I think pull a giant to the king tower for some reason. It's been hard to do ever since the tornado got reworked. Anyway, we got the lead. Very, very interesting deck coming out of this guy. Very interesting giant as well. But I guess this is these are the type of decks you guys like seeing me play against, because these are the, I guess, the so-called relatable decks. Like, you know, probably the trophy range you guys are at. Like, if you guys are at like 5,000 trophies, you see these types of decks, like these, like rage, like witch decks, like all this kind of garbage, honestly, because it's not that good. But I think it just works at some trophy ranges for some reason. But this guy is, you know, running it fairly high up, which is interesting for sure. He's got arrows as well. He is going to go for his witch again. We'll go and lightning that. Interesting cycle. Kind of have to lightning it, to be honest. He is going to go for another mini P.E.K.K.A. giant push. So hopefully we can defend this without too much trouble. And we should be able to, because really his only spells look like, you know, arrows. So he's got no way of taking out that ice wizard, which is great for us. I wonder if he's going to ignore that ice wizard to try to build up a push, because if he defends it, he's going to have a really hard time building up a push. He is. So, very interesting. We are going to let that mini P.E.K.K.A. get a little bit of damage, and that's just because he already got quite a lot in the opposite lane. So he loses here. I'm like 90% sure, because both lanes are having pressure applied to, and then like right here, finish off this tower, and yeah, it's gonna be GG. And yeah, I think I don't know. I think that'll. Or do I want to play one more? I don't know. I guess I'll play one more. Why not? Because that game didn't take too long. God, I think there's been 5 games so far, because 4 wins, 1 loss. Yeah. We'll go for one more. See you guys when I find it. Alright, here we go. This is going to be our last and final game. Doesn't matter who win and lose. And I wanted to ask you guys, those of you who made it to the end of the video, you guys will be the ones who get to decide, I guess. There's always a few, well, actually, quite a few people who do watch to the end. Appreciate all of you who do. I just want to say, how do you guys feel about, like, in terms of, like, losses in the video? Actually, in this video, cut out, like, a couple losses just because, like, they were against, like, complete hard counters, and I thought it would be kind of, like, boring to show that, like, over and over. Like, kind of the Tesla one was an example, like, you guys saw in one of the losses. You saw, like, Tesla, Ice Wiz, Nado. It was games like that, right? Like, against, like, Log Bait, like, you know, like, Expo, stuff where you essentially have, like, no chance if your opponent plays well. I don't know, like, I usually don't do that. Like, I usually show losses, especially if they're close, but if they're, like, not even close, you guys would, I'm assuming, prefer not to see them, right? Like, it would be better. I just want to know that for the future, because I think that would be good to, like, any game that's, like, not even close at all to normally not show it. But I did show that one because I just wanted to really, like, I guess emphasize how hard it is to win against buildings with this deck. But anyway, let's go ahead and start with a Barbaro. I don't, like, yeah, want to make you guys wait too long. If it were just me playing, you know, and I wasn't recording a video, obviously I would be waiting until double elixir, but I don't want to, yeah, bore you guys too much. And oh boy, we see another Tesla, so it's not a good sign, I suppose. I guess. Oh no. Alright. Ice Wiz Tesla, great. Bad Ice Wizard though. Baby Dragon will splash on the tower 3 times, which could potentially be what wins us the game. I mean, if we somehow do, that might be what wins us it. So he's going to have Graveyard most likely, or maybe just Minor Point. I don't know. What's very weird is he has Bomber. I don't understand this deck at all. We'll have to see. yeah, I don't know. This is looking like a very bad matchup already. So yeah, we're just gonna E-Giant, I think. Alright, this is a hard counter. We lost. Yeah. That's the thing with E-Giant, guys. The one thing that's bad about it, even though it's very good in the meta, there's very little outplay potential. When you verse something like this, like P.E.K.K.A. Graveyard, are you kidding me? Bad P.E.K.K.A. He let it splash. We're gonna lightning this. Oh my gosh, he has P.E.K.K.A. Ice Wiz, Tesla, Graveyard. Graveyard, we don't have a ton of answers for anyway. He misclicked the bomber, he played it in the opposite lane. Oh my goodness, I mean, he's making some mistakes. I mean, that might be the one thing that potentially allows us to win this just honestly horrific matchup. This is just this matchup is, I don't know. I can't describe how bad it is, guys. I really can't. Like, he has P.E.K.K.A. He has Graveyard. He has Ice Wiz. He has Tesla. All the things you don't really want to see when you're using E-Giant. Can we, like, somehow get a miracle here? I don't know, guys. You know, like, this is painful to go against. Alright, here we go. This is our last chance. We're gonna counter push off this graveyard. And this is it. Like, if we don't take his tower here, we're done. So P.E.K.K.A. does come down. And that is going to be GG. Poison takes the tower, so another insanely hard counter. Did I say it enough how hard this matchup is? Yes, very hard. So you can see, even though E-Giant in some matchups, you essentially have like a pretty free win, like it's easy. Some like this are just absolutely brutal. And that is why I was saying I edited out a couple of the losses, because there were a couple other games that were like this. It's just like a straight up hard counter, but then the games we won, we had, you know, a pretty easy matchup, right? Like against Golem, Giant Graveyard, that not nearly as bad as like P.E.K.K.A. Tesla Ice Wizard Graveyard. You kidding me? Anyway, that's gonna be it for the video. Hope you guys did enjoy it. I'm probably gonna upload tomorrow too. I should have time because it's the weekend now, so won't have school for a few days. So yeah, I don't know what deck I'm gonna do next, but I'm trying to do like yeah, mix up like what I do videos on. But yeah, make sure to like it if you guys did enjoy it. Subscribe if you're not subscribed already. Thanks again. Until next time, guys.